Training camp is a time of eternal optimism for all 32 NFL teams, even if between you and me, we know those other 31 teams simply don't have a chance. Now, this is part of the Training Camp Darling series here on the channel. There's a playlist on the channel that is all to do with the 2025 offseason. And that is where this video will appear on the channel. There's also a playlist for the 2025 NFL draft picks where I go through all of the draft picks and the UDFA class as well, a couple of whom will be in this video today. Now, what we're looking at today, we've already looked at offensive linemen, defensive linemen, running backs. We're here with what might paradoxically be the most interesting darlings group on the team outside of wide receiver, and that is the linebackers. And it's the linebackers because the Chiefs usually play two linebackers, really. Nick Bolton, Drew Tranquil are basically the guys right now. They're getting all of the reps. So it might seem weird to have Leo Chenal on this list, but it's not going to by the time I get through this. At least I don't think so. But Leo Chenal is the number one training camp darling for the linebacker crew. We're starting with Leo Chenal, and we will end with a guy who's going to remind you a whole lot of Leo Chenal as an athlete, not as a football player. But Leo Chenal here, an RAS score of 9.9910 is perfect. 9.99 for Leo Chenal. 6'2.5", 250 pounds, with 34 bench press reps. If you've ever seen Leo Chenal, you understand that is absolutely within the realm of possibility for Leo Chenal. At any moment, he might rip off 34 reps on the bench press with 225 pounds. But that's not where it stops for Leo Chenal. He's not just a plus-sized linebacker. He has a 40.5-inch vertical. He has a 10-foot 8-inch broad jump. He has a 4.53 40-yard dash with a 2.57 20-yard split, a 1.5 flat 10-yard split. That's wide receiver stuff. A 1.5 flat 10-yard split, a 4.24 short shuttle, and a 6.98 three-cone drill. The lowest score that he has is 8.24, and that is his 6'2.5" height. Absolutely phenomenal athlete. Now, so why is he on this list? He gets reps. He plays for the Chiefs. He gets in there on defense. Nowhere nearly enough. So if you go to St. Joe and you see him on the practice field, you're going to know you're looking at a football player. So I've told this story on the channel a couple times. I've met Travis Kelce in real life a couple times. Doesn't look like a football player. Travis Kelce, if you meet him in real life, looks like a basketball player. You will think that you're standing next to someone who plays, I don't know the basketball positions, but plays basketball. And Leo Chenal is a tank of a human being. So this is the last year of his rookie deal. Chenal is an absolute monster that I would love to see get increased playing time this year, if for no other reason than the fact that it would kind of mean, or at least point to the fact, that the Chiefs are going to bring him back for a second contract. He has played nowhere near what I think is sufficient football. I think that he has proven time and again he's not great in coverage. He's great against the run, and he's decent in coverage. So we still haven't really even seen Leo Chenal line up in the A-gap the way that he did in college and just pin his ears back. If you pull up his tape from Wisconsin, very impressive. He would just line up on the line of scrimmage and dare offensive linemen to touch him. Do it, I dare you, and oftentimes they would get afraid and just let him through to their quarterback. I think that he has 100% of that potential in the NFL. We just haven't gotten to see him do it. I think that it is time to let Leo Chenal loose in the pass rush. Look at this guy. Let him loose in the pass rush. The Chiefs have had trouble getting to the quarterback, or they did last season. And the answer might not be on the defensive line. The answer might be a little bit of help from the linebacking crew. Now, the next name on this list is a new-ish one to the channel. Cooper McDonald, the linebacker out of TCU, an RAS of 6.37. And you're looking at a 6'2" height, 235 pounds, 21 bench reps, 33-inch vertical, 9'1" broad jump, a 40-yard dash of 4.66 with a 1.55 10-yard split. That's not quite 1.5 flat that Leo Chanel ran, but very, very good number there. Then you've got a short shuttle of 4.6 and a 3-cone drill of 7.19. Now, Cooper McDonald is your stereotypical scroungy linebacker. He's not a fantastic athlete. He's not going to go out there and dominate in the passing game, but he's good enough to be on the field. Maybe he was good enough to be on the field in college. Now, he presents an interesting sort of dichotomy for the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs seem to love Giga Chads and scroungy linebackers. Giga Chads like, well, Leo Chanel. Scroungy linebackers like, well, Nick Bolton. Nick Bolton, a classic overachiever from what you would see if you looked at his RAS score, at his athleticism scores. Cooper McDonald is the scroungy type. He's not the super athlete. The Chiefs seem to have no time for anyone who is a middle of the road guy. They need the scroungers or they need the Giga Chads. And he has Chiefs special team linebacker written all over him. But here's the thing. The Chiefs have collected special teams linebackers over the last few years, and I don't know if he can make it on the 53 with the numbers that they have now. And I don't know how many practice squad linebackers the Chiefs are really going to carry. I do not see the natural athlete or the natural football player necessary for him to make it in the NFL. When I say he's a scrounger, I mean he is a true scrounger. And by the way, most of these guys, like, that might sound like an insult. Most of these guys, that is the one compliment that they will take, right? They love the fact that they are blue collar, and that is exactly what Cooper McDonald is. I think that he will find himself a place in the NFL. I don't know if it's with the Chiefs, but watching the effort that he puts forth in training camp might win him a few fans here in Kansas City and St. Joe. And then we have half a step away from, so that 5.6 RAS, a 6.37 RAS. So Cam Jones, another scrounger, 6'1", 226 pounds, 17 reps on the bench press, 33-inch vertical, 4.69 40-yard dash with a 1.55 10-yard split, a 4.4 short shuttle, and a 7.3 3-cone drill. Cam Jones has played for the Kansas City Chiefs. 2023, he had 17 tackles. 2024, he had 19 tackles and a quarterback hit. So he has done some stuff on the field for the Kansas City Chiefs. He is another guy that is an underdog story at the linebacker position. These are the snap counts that he has for the Chiefs. 81 snaps as a rookie on defense, 283 snaps. So it's just interesting. 81 snaps, 283 special team snaps as a rookie. In 2024, 80 snaps and 284 special team snaps. So he took that 81st defensive rep and moved it onto the special teams side for his sophomore campaign in the NFL. So he's played a little bit of football for the Chiefs. I think Cam Jones, though he's not the athlete that is Cooper McDonald, he's a more natural football player. He's a more natural linebacker. I do think that he is probably too athletically limited to ever be a starter, but I do think that he's someone that can give you reps as he has in the past and not get himself into too much trouble. This is one of the things the Chiefs have been so good at, is picking up UDFA linebackers along the way. So that's Cam Jones. Speaking of UDFA linebackers, personal favorite, Jack Cochran. I have been singing the praises of Jack Cochran since he became a UDFA, if you've been around the channel for that long. A 9.17 RAS score. So Giga Chad level linebacker here. 6'3", 236 pounds, with a measly, for the position, 19 reps on the bench press compared to some of these other guys that the Chiefs have picked up at this position. But a 41-inch vertical leap, a 10'4" broad jump, a 4.65 40-yard dash, a 1.6 flat 10-yard split, a 4.1 short shuttle at 6'3", 236. That is good for a 9.59 score. The second best score he has, the first being his 9.92 for that 41-inch vertical leap. And he had a 7.27 three-cone drill. Now, he's been around the Chiefs for 3 seasons already, racking up 9 tackles as a rookie in 2022, getting 28 tackles in 2023, and falling down to 5 last season. And if we look at what he has done, he played 0 defensive reps as a rookie, but 262 special teams reps. He played 180 defensive snaps in 2023 and 336 special team snaps. And then in 2024, he played only 9 defensive snaps, 297 special team snaps. This makes me think that maybe Cochran is on his way out, dropping all the way down to just 9 defensive snaps. Maybe that is the realization that you don't have to have another linebacker in order to have a special teams ace, and we're going to get to that in a moment. But I think that Jack Cochran can be a spot starter in the NFL. Has that one listed start there in the 2023 season where he had 180 defensive reps. He is a special teams ace. He has been a special teams ace for the Kansas City Chiefs since his undrafted rookie free agent season. But there are so many other bodies for the Kansas City Chiefs at these linebacker positions that this might be the year one of those other guys has to make him ready to dance or turn the music off. This might be the end of the line for Jack Cochran. I hope not. I really do think that he does have some upside on the defense as well as being a special teams ace. But if Jack Cochran is expendable to this defense, it will be because of Brandon George. Out of Pittsburgh, you see that RAS score of 9.98. So here's the thing. You have Leo Chenal, you have Nick Bolton, you have Drew Tranquill. Those are your starting 3. Do you keep around Cam Jones? Cam Jones had more defensive reps, 80, than did Jack Cochran last year. Jack Cochran, if we go back up to his RAS score, very, very athletic, looking at a 41-inch vertical, 10'4" broad jump, and a 4.65 40-yard dash with a 4.1 short shuttle. Those are the numbers you're looking at if you're just looking at an athlete to have play special teams. You've got Cam Jones. You've got other linebackers on the depth chart. So this additional body doesn't necessarily have to play defense, but he has to play special teams. That's where we get into the absolute Giga Chad numbers put up by Brandon George. 6'3", 246 pounds, 28 reps on the bench press, a 42.5-inch vertical leap. That is 100th percentile. That is a perfect 10 score. A 10'8" broad jump, a 4.65 40-yard dash with a 1.59 10-yard split. Now, funnily enough, that is one of the slower 10-yard splits on this entire roster of linebackers that we are presenting here today. But a 4.14 short shuttle, which is good for a 9.5 score, and a 6.98 three-cone drill, which is good for an 8.73. Now, also, by the way, 9 3/4 inch hands, 33-inch arms. This is an athlete and a weapon to be deployed on special teams. He's not particularly proven to be an effective football player. Struggled some in college, not a whole lot of playing time early in his career, and maybe didn't show up in the best way on tape. But he has extreme athleticism, and he forces the question, do you really have to be all that much of a football player to be a special teams ace? Does he have to be able to plug the A-gap? No, he's got to run 40 yards downfield and tackle a guy who's catching a punt. Does he really have to understand where the tight end is and be able to read the zones and what's going on behind him? Or does he need to run really, really fast for 20 yards after a running back catches the kickoff? Right? Those are the questions that you have to ask with a guy like Brandon George. And maybe you get him into the building. Turns out he does know football better than he sort of put on display in college. And you have, all of a sudden, a defensive player as well. But that's not what you're looking for here. What you're looking for here is, can he force Jack Cochran in his second contract here in Kansas City off the team by being so phenomenal an athlete as a special teamer? That is what I have for the linebacker core here in Kansas City, the training camp darlings. If you like or appreciate this sort of thing, hitting a like button really does help me out, as it tells YouTube to share this video with other Kansas City Chiefs fans. And if you find yourself here by chance but not design, the Chiefs are the only thing I talk about on the channel, dropping multiple videos every single week. And as always, I hope to have you back for the next one.